Hello and welcome to the Rogers TV Special Edition COVID-19 program. My name is Carol Merton, and today I'm delighted to welcome two guests who are from Grey County, and they're going to be telling us about the Grey County economic development programs and what's been happening throughout COVID-19. So I want to welcome Jacinda, Rudolph, and Allison, Theodore. Thank you both for being on the program today. And you know, it's always an adventure with technology. Our viewing audience would not have seen that. We really worked hard to make this work, and we want to thank our producer for making sure that we are connected. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us, Carol.
My pleasure. Tell me a little bit about your roles and what you do in Grey County, and then we'll certainly drill down into what you do for the community as well. Who wants to go first?
Sure, so I'll dive right in. So again, as you mentioned, my name's Alison Theodore, and I'm one of the economic development officers for Grey County. My focus area is tourism. So I work with our tourism businesses to guide them through how they can do better business in Grey County with a tourism lens, looking at destination management, product development, supports for our tourism businesses, everything tourism. That's what I do.
Excellent.
And I work as an economic development officer as well at Grey County. And my area focuses more around attraction and retention of people to the area. And also I oversee the Grey Bruce Local Immigration Partnership Project. Mm-hmm. So that's really around creating welcoming communities in the area and ensuring that we work with partners and employers and support organizations to ensure that they address the needs of newcomers.
Excellent. So certainly from your descriptions, COVID-19 has had an impact on both of your portfolios big time. Yeah.
Sure.
So let's go through the questions and the information you provided. Thank you. I always like having something to hang on to guide the conversation. So the first that you sent was, how is Grey County economic development supporting businesses, and that would include tourism for sure, during this round of COVID restrictions? So maybe talk a little bit first about the Business Enterprise Center and Catapult, because you know that's exciting, and I'd like to learn more about it.
Yes, it is very exciting, Carol. And, you know, well, first off, our Small Business Enterprise Center and Catapult are both housed in Sydenham campus, which is brand new, and it's conveniently located in Owen Sound, right next to the Georgian College campus, if anyone ever wants to pop in. So our Small Business Enterprise Center, it offers services to both new and existing businesses in Grey County, and it's just this really great resource for anyone who's interested in starting up a business. Whether you're a student or an adult who just finally wants to make that move on a great business idea that you may have always dreamed of, the Business Enterprise Center is there to help. So the main services that they offer are primarily consultation for your business planning. They offer mentorship opportunities, training and workshops, and they also have some really great funding opportunities. In fact, just yesterday, we opened applications for our summer company program. Which is very exciting. Yes, the application process is now open, and summer company is open to students between the ages of 15 to 29, and essentially successful applicants can receive up to $3,000 to start a new business. Wow. And you also receive, along with that, business plan development and training and mentorship matching. And often what we do is those who are not successful with the grant support will still offer them the business development training and mentorship. So it's a really, really great program. Like I said, it just opened yesterday, so applications are open. So definitely, if any students between the ages of 15 to 29 are interested in that, I know we have so many new businesses, opportunities that people are thinking of. Please do get in touch, and we'll make sure that you get the application for that. So That's Business Enterprise Center. So lots of exciting stuff happening
Yep.
along those lines.
So I have
And then,
some questions.
yeah, absolutely.
So I warned you, I probably have some questions, right?
Of course,
So
by all means.
we're hearing more and more work from home. And but so the opportunity you're describing doesn't have to be just a bricks and mortar kind of business, correct? Like, does it have to be just a building that a business operates from? Or if someone said, you know, I wanted to do a home-based business where I can work from home, could that qualify for going through and getting the support, the grant application?
Absolutely. We look at each application individually, of course.
Okay.
So by all means, if you have an idea that you think could really move the dial forward in terms of economic development in Grey County, by all means, you should absolutely apply. All ideas are welcome. But again, it is a competitive process, and each application is judged individually.
So if I'm new to the area and I'm thinking about starting a business, you would suggest I come in or call. Is there a cost for me to get this kind of information?
I'm so glad you asked that. No, it is absolutely free. This is something that we offer to all of our Grey County businesses, free mentorship, free consultations. You get at least a free 30-minute consultation with our 2 Business Enterprise Center officers. So it's really just invaluable, really, for anyone who wants to start a new business. The way I see it is I like to think of us as a connector. Sometimes if we don't have the answers for you through the Business Enterprise Center, because of all the connections that we have, not only through the county, but provincially and federally, we will make those connections for you so that you can, get the resources that you're looking for. And that's all absolutely at no cost to the business.
So I see on your list of information that you talk about website resources as well.
Right. But before I go into that, I wanted to actually mention one other program that we have under the Sydenham campus, if that's okay, because it's another new service. There's a lot going on, and I'm just so excited about it. It's called Catapult Grey Bruce.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, it's a completely new service. They just opened their doors in 2019. And it's really, really exciting, actually. It's driven by entrepreneurs in the Grey Bruce region, and it's a support program that is really laser focused on helping existing local businesses that are already established, to connect with each other, to connect with funders, to connect with mentorship opportunities, and just to gain access to the tools that they may need to accelerate and scale their business locally. The Catapult program, it also forms part of the larger National Startup Canada program, and that just really takes our services on offer to another higher level. And then in addition to that, there's a really exciting opportunity on offer right now through Catapult. It's called the Fast Lane Plus Accelerator program, and this program is open to entrepreneurs that are either serving or based in Grey Bruce and have at least $200,000 in annual revenue and want to be able to, again, scale or grow their business. So they get some grant money and then some expert support to help scale their businesses. So very, very exciting. The project itself, Catapult, it's very unique. I mean, it's the first time that you're seeing this in Grey County, something specific to our rural community. What you'll find is that a lot of our entrepreneurs, they would usually go outside the region to access these sort of scaling up resources. So many of our entrepreneurs in Grey County would be probably very familiar with some of the accelerator programs that are located in the more urban communities like Guelph, for example. And so the risk is that, while they do get the support they need by going outside of Grey, sometimes they're influenced by those communities. And then down the road, they may decide that, I'm going to take my business there instead of to Grey or Bruce. So Catapult allows us to offer those services right here in Grey County and allow those businesses to, thrive and grow and create jobs and keep their businesses in Grey County and keep our communities growing. So it's a really, really exciting program as well.
That sounds absolutely fascinating, and having the resource here in Grey County is just wonderful. We've been hearing about the concern about businesses and the impact of COVID-19 on businesses and on human resources. And I'm wondering, whomever would like to speak to that would be helpful. Where do we stand now in Grey County? And do you have any concerns about us getting the resources to fill available jobs or keeping businesses here?
Yeah, so we work a lot with the different businesses in the area, but workforce is definitely a challenge, Carol. It's all over. It's not just Grey and Bruce. It's all over the area. And some of the things that, as long as we're listening, I think that's probably the most important. So we've been doing virtual job fairs to be able to get more people to our area and or get them the job that they feel they're a best fit for in our area. I guess for the past year, just, shifting to kind of pandemic and restrictions, we did 3 virtual job fairs. And then this way, by doing the virtual job fair, it allowed us to be able to reach some of the potential workforce that are outside of our area. Because then we can market out there. We could get people to attend without having to drive to the area to attend. So we did have quite a few individuals when it came to looking for jobs in our region. The challenge definitely laid in the fact that some of them identified that they're already working. So it becomes a shift of, employees going from one organization or business to another. So we're just kind of, moving everybody around. But different workforce initiatives, working with our partners to be able to provide, whether it's upskilling or training that allows existing employees to move up the ladder within the organization. I think our biggest focus, having heard what's going on with the workforce challenges, and is really around retention.
Yes.
So retention is probably one of what we've realized in this next year is we really want to focus on retention initiatives, and that goes the same for Grey Bruce Local Immigration Partnership, retaining newcomers, retaining the young people that may decide to leave the area, allowing them to see the opportunities and potentials in our region to be able to stay and be active employees as well as community members in our area.
Absolutely. So, in a different program with different speakers, it became clear to me that even though there are work from home campaigns, which are great, there is a certain percentage of workforce where you cannot do your job from home, and that you have to be physically present. Certainly, that seems to be an impact with service industries, healthcare industries. Do you have any comments on how we can support getting people to our area? Because if we have the jobs and we have the businesses looking for the people, from an economic development point of view, it's critical to match them, right?
Yeah, well, when it comes to businesses not being able to expand their work or their delivery of their products because they don't have the workforce, that definitely becomes a really big challenge. What we're seeing is employers are changing. I feel that employers are actually addressing that retention piece and looking at their employees, kind of the whole picture. So let's say an employee comes to work. Well, maybe their spouse might be able to might be looking for work, maybe supporting them in finding a house or somewhere to stay or somewhere to live. Some employers are actually looking at, this is around manufacturing companies that are larger as well. They don't have some of the workforce, so they're looking at options for housing to be able to, I can't think of the word right now, but where employees are staff housing to be able to accommodate to the housing shortage in the area, because people aren't coming to our area if they don't have a place to live. So addressing it different. So it's employers that are looking at it in a different kind of angle or a different lens, and really trying to look at that whole picture for supports for their workforce.
And to me, that's a changing trend as a result of COVID. I mean, when you think about it, you probably wouldn't think of an employer many years ago, maybe in nursing schools or whatever, they would have residences, but it wasn't the norm for an employer to want to get housing so they could get workers. So it's certainly a different trend for sure. The housing issue is now impacting what we call the missing middles, or the middle income earners. Sometimes people would think of housing as a poverty level, but it truly isn't at this point. And those would be the workers that you would be wanting to come to work in our area, those who would be middle or upper income as well, correct?
Yes, correct. And now it's shifted to attainable and affordable housing.
It's
not just, like you mentioned, people that can't afford a place to live. It's people that may afford to it, but there's just no availability. And it is definitely impacted our region. Our housing cost has increased, almost twofold compared to what it was before the pandemic. So that attraction piece that we had before for our rural communities is not as attractive anymore, because possibly you can make more in the GTA and still pay the cost of living is still the same. So that is definitely a challenge. But remote work is definitely, you mentioned remote work, and that could definitely be a way that we can address some of the jobs, but not all of them, like the ones that have to be in person and so on. So
you mentioned in the information you shared about advocacy to the different levels of government for small business support. So that's a role that you do, correct?
Yes, but Allison.
Yes, in a way we do. Through our interactions, we speak to so many small businesses, so we are able to receive a lot of feedback on their specific needs, and then bring that information to the various levels of government on their behalf. That's something that's a role that we take very seriously. And speaking from a tourism perspective, we work very closely with two organizations, one at the provincial, the TIO, Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, and at the federal level, TIAC, the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. And they advocate directly to the provincial and federal governments on behalf of tourism businesses. So throughout the pandemic, both TIO and TIAC have made just tremendous strides, really, in advocating for some of those great support programs that we've been seeing coming out. And from our perspective, providing that anecdotal information that represents the experience of Grey County businesses, that is just so important, because it helps to ensure that our region and the concerns of our local small businesses are considered when these programs are rolled out. So the advocacy work is very, very important. I don't know, Jacinda, if you have anything you want to add for your other businesses in general, or?
Yeah, I mean, one thing would just be around, there's the potential to get more workforce addressing whether it's attracting newcomers to the area or people who have recently immigrated here, but let's say they live in the GTA. So there's that kind of advocacy in the sense that it's a possibility. And we have the Grey Bruce Local Immigration Partnership that is working to make sure that they have, the employers may have a diverse workplace or a welcoming workplace with regards to immigrants or newcomers trying getting a job in their area, in their business, sorry.
And it provides a wonderful service as far as successful transition into our community as well, from my understanding. Not to be bleak, because we've talked about the challenges. One little bit of positive here. So not all businesses have suffered through COVID-19, correct? There have been some who have been able to change their model of delivery of their services. Would you say, though, generally, from your experience, anecdotally, you hear from the positives as well as those who are struggling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've heard some different industries. We think hospitality has really been struggling, but I've heard from a few restaurants who have actually gone to takeout and have maintained that and actually have done really well. And they're almost kind of nervous or scared to say that because they know that other like businesses are struggling.
Yeah.
So I've heard that, and also marketing companies, they're looking because people need a new strategy. They need new ways to address the pandemic and the challenges that they're faced. So they're hiring a lot of our consultants, and marketing companies are quite busy because it's just different. It's a shift. They're not sure how, so they're looking for plans and campaigns and support. So, yeah.
Certainly some changing. And we anticipate some of this may continue to change even as we move through and beyond COVID, where there may be different models of business and tourism, what's offered as well. So how can we as a community and the listeners on the program today support our local businesses? Because it's been a long time where it has not been business as usual.
Yeah. Well, I would jump in to say, just continue to shop local, and perhaps think of the people on the other end of your purchase. When you think of shopping local, it's just there's a real multiplier effect when you support local shops and services. Think about it. If you buy at a hardware store, that owner may hire a local print shop or an accountant. They'll be the first to sponsor that Little League team and all the other wonderful community events that bring life to our municipality. Their employees may go to local restaurants, other nearby stores. Plus, not to mention, of course, those dollars from your purchase that are going directly to, back into the local economy by way of taxes and payrolls as well. So the success of one local business can really have such an enormous positive effect, just circulating money directly throughout Grey County's economy. So it's supporting local really is key to it. And it's important to remember that we spoke about the pivoting. Many of our businesses, through the support of Grey County, they now offer online shopping, curbside pickup, or if you can't get it online, you can always go for a walk, go into the store, keep your mask on and shop, So there are lots of ways to support. And I will say there are ways to support that don't break the bank too, sign up for their newsletters, refer and recommend them to your friends and families. You can share your favorite stores on your social network, post pictures, positive reviews, interact with their social channels. So, word of mouth is a great way to support as well. It's such a great endorsement, as we know, right? That third party endorsement.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And certainly buying gift cards, or if you're not sure what to really consider that. I really like the concept of the multiplier effect, because sometimes, when you're just purchasing something, it's just, you don't necessarily realize that behind that is a whole bunch of community services that could benefit as well from that purchase, which I think is important. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about connections. So what type of work are you doing around the community connections? Because you have some exciting things going on. Great Transit Route is one, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I'm glad you mentioned that. It just launched in 2020, so it's very relatively new, but it has just taken off, the Great Transit Route. As you know, transportation, it's all very important for connecting people, not only to their jobs, but to different opportunities, family, making those connections. So it's really had a positive effect. we offer 6 routes throughout Grey County. It goes along Highway 26, as well as from connections to Wyerton, Walkerton, and Orangeville. So we have seen, even though we've had the lockdowns, numbers are rising. We're seeing really, we're certainly like on a growth path in terms of the numbers of passengers that we're seeing on the Grey Transit route. So there certainly was a need that we are fulfilling for that. So we see Grey Transit route certainly growing in the years to come.
So that route also could go across 3 counties and
exactly
bring people to their jobs.
Oh,
and
yes.
Also go back to their homes as well, correct?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And if anyone wants information, it's grey.ca/GTR. So you can get all the route information at that website.
So we have just a couple minutes more in the program. I could talk for a long time about economic development, but what are some ways that community members can enjoy our region as a tourist in your own backyard?
Well, I would encourage them to go to visit grey.ca. That's our tourism website. And, you know, it's a great way to learn about where your next adventure could be in Grey County. We've actually just recently posted a blog there on some of the best outdoor skating spots in the county. So lots of itinerary ideas. And also keep in mind that, you know, the government just recently introduced a new staycation tax credit that could, and it's basically a 20% credit for all staycation accommodations in Ontario. You can receive up to $1,000 per person or $4,000 per family. So perfect opportunity to add on an overnight stay if you're considering, you know, vacationing right here in Grey County. So lots and lots of opportunities. And that tax credit is available for the whole year, for all of 2022. So you can use it multiple times on multiple trips, however you would like. So lots of opportunities there.
Yeah, encouraging people to explore all that we have to offer here.
And explore safely, of course.
Yeah, always. Any last minute comments? We're on our minute countdown. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I personally would just like to, you know, say thank you to the businesses, you know, thank them for keeping things going, you know, keeping your staff employed. I don't think a lot of the average person don't understand the pressures that our businesses have been under the past 2 years. So they've really been digging deep, and they may not hear it often. So just thank you for everything that they're doing. Grey County really needs people like them to keep growing our economy and supporting us. So
yeah, and reach out to Economic Development at Grey County if you have any questions or would like some supports with your business. We're always here to help.
I want to thank both of you. This has been so informative and an absolute pleasure to interview with both of you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
thank you.
Thank you to our viewing audience, and please join us again to learn more about resources, programs, and services available to you and to your family. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
I'm a right winger with the Owen Sound Attack. Get great OHL action on Rogers TV as we bring you Owen Sound Attack games live, both home and away.
Who are you?
My grandfather was a Ghostbuster.
This thing is real?